Before the video starts, I just want to mention that I know the mic quality is shit, and for the first few minutes it is, but it gets better later since I forgot to get my mic that day and I had to record this video because I was procrastinating for 3 months, and that is a lot for me. So enjoy the video, go watch it. Please bear for the first few minutes. Okay, so I like music a lot, and I look for new artists in that time. And an artist that I really like is Men I Trust. I wanted to find something familiar, something very similar to that. So Spotify has this really cool feature that makes me see artists that the fans of Men I Trust or any particular artist fans listen to. So I click on that, and I see some familiar artists like Hers or Mac DeMarco. But then I find a really interesting band called Duster. I listen to some of their popular tracks, I really get into the band. And fun fact, they made the Sisyphus meme song. I repeated this cycle again till I found some more cool artists. One in particularly that I really liked is Memo Boy. His track Insomniac was the one that left a really good impression on me. And the funny thing about Memo Boy is that the artist, Otto Benson, now makes music from his actual name, Otto Benson. That was the music that he made when he was in school. I've seen this happen before, like the artist leaving their old persona behind to make music from their new persona or actual name. Another example that I found while doing this was Sylvia Plath, who also made some music. They made amazing music when they were like 15. Both of them left their old personas to make music from the new personas for some reason. But I find something really sad about it, that their old personas are much more famous and much more successful than their new stuff. I also want to listen to their new music, but I just haven't got around.
Since then, Sylvia Plath has returned to his old name.
But then I found something really interesting. There's an artist that is popping up in every Fans Also Like Me. And their profile picture was kind of unique. There was just a guy in a black background. It felt kind of eerie. The artist was called Take Care. So I clicked on the link, and I was presented with 3 albums: Agony, DJ, and Alive. I'll analyze these 3 albums later. The artist mainly makes slowcore music, and according to Google, slowcore means a subgenre of indie rock characterized by subdued tempos and typically minimalist instrumentation along with solemn and melancholic lyrical performance. And the melancholic lyrics are the huge selling point of that artist, and it makes a perfect addition to your 23-hour Sad Boy Hour playlist because it's in mine. But to know more about the artist, I clicked on the Spotify bio page and I found the Instagram page that was linked to it. When I clicked on the page, I was led to an Instagram page called Sign Crushes Motorist 48, and after gently stalking them a bit, I saw that his bio led to a playlist which said all my music, and I found something really interesting. The playlist was called Moonwater by a person called Liam McKay, and apparently that is the guy, Sign Crushes Motorist, or the person behind the artist Take Care. And the playlist Moonwater didn't have songs only from the artist Take Care. There were 12 different artists in that playlist. And when I looked at those artists, I realized one thing. Remember the Fans Also Like page that I mentioned before? Every time I clicked that page for the artists that I was looking into, each one had an artist page that was linked to Liam McKay or Sign Crushes Motorist. And when I got to Take Care, the top artist that were recommended was his own stuff. And I found it really funny and kind of scary. Like, I thought it was a Memo Boy situation. Or Sylvia Plath, like they left their old stuff to make new stuff from a new alias. But there was more than one artist on there. At this point, I got really confused. Then all of their bios led to the same page. And I was confused a bit because some bios had something written on it, but it didn't make any sense. At this point, I felt like I was at the forefront of something big. Something bigger than me. Sign Crushes Motorist, or Liam McKay, has 12 Spotify artist profiles. And the thing about them is, you won't exactly know that they're from the same person until unless you stalk them, like literally, like me, go into their bio to know more about the artist and just get in this loop. Just get into this loop, like finding a new artist, going into their bio and finding that it's the same guy. The 12 profiles that he has on Spotify are Sign Crushes Motorist, Take Care, Hold, Birthday, Make His Rib Show, Busty Latinas, Moonwater, Roaming, Miserable Teens Club, Manta, Dead Calm, and Carson Clay. A lot of these artists are really successful, especially Sign Crushes Motorist and Take Care, boasting over 2 and 3 million listeners each month. That is just crazy. And Birthday is another one which is over 1 million listeners. He has 12 A-lists and currently is writing music by the name of Sign Crushes Motorist, which in fact is a reference to a Duster song. In an interview, he said that Duster was a really huge inspiration to him alongside Cooking and Apostat Commander, if I said that right. Like, those artists shaped his music that he makes today. I think I should talk about the main person, Liam McKay, more. Liam McKay is a 19-year-old student who is currently doing computer science. Just like me. He's a slowcore artist from Ireland. His lyrics usually are very personal and very melancholic. While growing up, he listened to artists like Simon and Garfunkel, Leonard Cohen, and we can see like where he got his inspirations from while making music. According to him, he made these pseudonyms because he wanted to save his anonymity. He said that he will never use his name for an album or project ever, and he wants to live a normal college life. That's why he does this, while also enjoying his music career. This guy even landed himself a live show at Belfast this year, and due to this animosity, his personal life hasn't been affected much. And I'm pretty sure millions of people don't even know that he is behind these personas. Young artists would kill to have a successful background like this. So much success, but he's not leveraging it for anything. But personally, not having him super out there makes me connect to his music, because that is the only way to interact with him, to know about him, to know how he feels, to see what he thinks at that point of time. All the pains and worries that he goes through, and to be honest, sometimes it's a bit too eerie and it's too personally for some reason, for me at least, because how intimate he can become. He just lays his vulnerabilities or insecurities out for everyone to hear, and the display is so genuine and heartful that you get connected to it. You don't have any options. You just get sucked into the world that Liam presents, and that is the talent I think he possesses, to suck in the listener into his world, his pain, his worries that he's trying to present. In an interview, Liam said, quote, "You think I've done my best music so far? You don't know anything. I got an idea for my magnum opus, if you will. It's going to be a few years in the making, but I got a few people in mind." And if that man says what he means, we're in for a treat. Well, not a treat, he makes melancholic. You get what I mean. Here's another fun fact. In an interview with Still Listening last year, he said he loves the entirety of the Wimpy Kid movies and MF Doom. Like, this man has traced first Duster, now MF Doom, and the Wimpy Kid movies. Like, this guy can't get even better. Well, he also said he hates Elon Musk and he hates TikTok funk music. Very cool, dude. And if you want to listen to artists that are similar in the slowcore genre, here are some I recommend. Memo Boy, Your Arms Are My Cocoon. Duster, Alex_G_offline. Salvia Palt, Strawberry Guy. Alex G. Story Cat, Hers, Hot Flash Heatwave. Now I want to talk about the project that I mentioned a while ago. The project that got me into Liam. The project that got me sucked into Liam's world. The project that started it all, for me at least. Take Care. And till now, for me, it seems the most intimate and genuine that he has felt, like, forever. The project is broken into 3 albums. Agony, Reject, Alive. And they tell a story from a perspective, I think, of Liam, because, well, he is writing the songs, or a male protagonist, that is for sure, that we know. I won't go deep into every track, but I will just put a small comment on every track that I've written. Is it still recording? If it's not recording, I'll cry. It is recording. Thank God. Album 1, Agony. Track 1. Everything reminds me of you. It has a melancholic feel to it as all of his songs, but the lyrics speaks about how Liam misses a certain someone and his desire to hold that person or to feel that person, and he hopes that they know how he feels about them and how he would never let them go. It's a pretty simple and straightforward track, for me at least. I didn't look into any deeper meanings other than what lyrics told me and the music was telling me. The second track, Please Don't Leave. In this track, Liam is telling us how he is surviving in his life nowadays, how the girl he misses is now talking to someone else, how he wants to shut his eyes not to see her with other people, and how now in his mind she is drifting away from him. Later on, he does the whole do you love someone enough to let them go and questions whether or not does she hate him. Track 3, Destroy Me from the Inside Out. In this track, we hear a bit about the betrayal that Liam felt from the girl that he liked, and her talking to someone else is destroying him from the inside out, as the track is titled. And even like Liam is telling how he cannot watch her without getting teary-eyed, as the lyrics watching her with blurry eyes, it can indicate that he just gets teary-eyed even looking at her with someone else or looking at her in general. The next track, Fall For You, starts with Liam telling himself that a lot of his problems are brought upon himself and how he still has fallen for them. He believes that the sadness in his life can be solved with her being in his life, as there's a hole in my heart in the shape of you, and how her not being there puts him in a painful bloody mess when he would rather hold her, and he thinks that she can see the hole that is in shape of her. The lyrics you see it too, you see it too are written and sung in such a way that insists on it being seen, that she must be seeing this. He thinks that she knows and she's hurting her purposefully at this. And later on, he mentions this hole is affecting other people around him and bringing everyone down is also mentioned in the lyrics later. There is a lyrics that suggests that he has never told her about his love to her and how she knows about it. There's a hole in my heart in the shape of you, but I never said, and you have no fucking clue. Liam has this unhealthy obsession for this girl, and it's leading him into a dark path at this point. Even if he is self-aware in the beginning of the track, he just cannot just get out of it for some reason. The next track, All I Need Is to Feel Like Someone Could Love. This track is short, but also has a lot of depth considering it being only 39 fucking words. It starts with the infatuation he has for the girl. Whatever their relationship is or was, also how it left him in this mental state that he is in right now. To him, it's been nothing but a downward spiral ever since the incident that happened between. And whatever is happening right now is her rubbing salt in his wound that was already there like before the incident that happened between. And he hopes he gets to interact with her again, like for any reason. He doesn't care, he just wants to interact with her. It's all my fault. This track, Liam is just self-deprecating all over again, and how whatever happens between the girl he liked and him happened because of him. To him, she was so perfect, and because of his own imperfectness, he crashed the relationship, and that makes him miss her more than ever. He regrets meeting with her with the lyrics, "It's all my fault, I should have cut her off when I had the chance." He is in such a self-destructive mode right now that he doesn't even care about his own well-being or his own emotional status. He just cares that she is happy and I shouldn't have talked to her. It's really sad to listen to that. One Day. This song is even shorter than All I Need Is to Feel Like Someone Could Love Me, with only 24 words. This is all about his fantasy of how the girl he loved will never ask him out, and how Liam will forever be the only one in this single-sided relationship. He talks about wanting to be cremated so that no one could see his face and he could return to where he came from. Like every song, like Liam reaches one step lower in his self-confidence and one step above in his self-deprecation. All he does is self-blame at this point. I feel like I have been shot in the stomach. Liam is confused about how she is always on his mind and how he thinks that she's flirting with others. He thinks that he never confirms it. He just sees her talk with others and thinks, oh shit, they must be flirting, they must be dating. His mind is just filled with negative thoughts. And he still believes that there is something between them. But that thought is brought to in question multiple times by Liam himself. But one thing that he is sure of, that he will never forget her. Think of me once in a while. Take care. This is the last track in the first album, Agony, and probably the most famous track, as it is listened to the most in his entire catalogue of Take Care. It's a completely instrumental only song, and the title can mean anything from Liam is running away from his problems, literally just going out from the school, or just running away from civilization in general, or some allegory for self-harm. After looking at the Genius page for what others think, someone pointed out this really interesting thing, that the album art is the same. It's Liam McKay, actual Liam McKay that I was talking about, in black background. And that really set in for me that Liam is actually running away. Liam is seen with a hoodie and a bag, fitting into the theme of running away. Now the second album, Reject. The first track is Out in the Desert. This is another melancholic instrumental, and it fades in from the last track of Agony, Think of Me Once in a While, Take Care. So it makes a smooth transition between the albums and helps us set into the tone for this new album, Reject, as it's much darker and contains a lot of things that may include Liam committing self-harm. The second track, You're Perfect. This takes the previous idea that I mentioned, that he blames himself for the breakdown of the relationship that he had with the girl. Whether romantic or platonic, he can't seem to blame her since he thinks of her as perfect. I might as well say it, what else can I do? I've ruined everything just like I always do. I've ruined everything I had with you. He also wishes to get another chance to fix his mistakes. So Liam is just like living in his older ideas and old memories that he had. This feeling will pass. This track feels depressing, as Liam seems super tired in this one and tells us that this relationship has taken such a toll on him that it's leaving him with marks. This could be hinting in subtle themes of self-harm at this, and it confirms it. And we know this as we're listening to the song. It's like he's huffing all over. He can't even breathe properly. He even asks himself, when will he ever be over the situation? Nothing happened at all. As I mentioned before, Liam is indulging himself in a bit of self-harm. So his obsession with this girl he would do anything to get her back. He also realizes that these feelings will pass one day, and eventually they both will forget about each other. It's like time. Everything heals with time. Hopefully it heals with time. Ribs. This track, Liam is telling himself not to think about her. That every time he thinks of her, he feels like his guts are being taken out and being put back in again. He feels pathetic at this state and how he reached here. So he tries to erase her from his mind. I don't want to feel this way. This is another instrumental track in this album, and the title gives us a lot of details. Maybe how Liam has finally realized that he doesn't want to stay pathetic. This track, unlike others, has a hint of upliftment and Feel Like Dying, the acoustic cover. This is the cover for Feel Like Dying by Playboi Carti. Funnily enough, this is a song about how Carti was like mentally ill and what he felt after his breakup with Iggy Azalea. It also tells us when Carti was yearning for love like any other human. Personally, found this cover by Liam to be better than the original music by Carti, and the themes and the tone of the song fits right into this album. Make It Stop. This song literally starts with Liam telling us that everything is crumbling before his eyes. Whatever he built up with his girl is being destroyed. He also says that he feels like throwing up whenever he sees her with any other man. And the attention he craves from her is given to others but not him. He thinks that he deserves her attention for some reason. The way he sings in this song is the most violent that we have heard of him till now. It's really hard to listen to, literally. He sings it in such a way, the mic is being distorted to such an extent that the words are tearing up a lot, and it literally hurts my ears that when I was listening to this. This is similar to the point that he and the girl's relationship is. It's become so violent from Liam's perspective that it's hurting. You have no idea what you're doing to me. This is the last track in the second album, Reject. This song portrays how rejection is the worst feeling. He constantly asking himself what's wrong with him. The mic breaking effect continues on this track for some reason, and showing us what his mental state is going through currently. We can also look at him going through stages of depression, and this well being the depression part of it. As the earlier tracks, he did figure out what his problem was in the track. I don't want to feel this way anymore. So we can see the last 4 songs as him going through from denial to depression. The album cover can also be analyzed the last time, how the girl is looking at the camera at us in such a cold way, how she doesn't think of us, Liam, as much. The last album, Alive. The first track, You Are So Pretty. From the start, we see a sudden shift from the last album. Where we left off, the song is very soft. Liam here appreciates the girl's beauty rather than thinking about negatively about it. It seems that he is taking a step forward, as we discussed from the last album. We know that he realized this problem and was in the acceptance stage of it, of whatever emotions he was processing through. The second track, Wiley. This song is another soft track. This one is a different tone. Since the last time we saw Liam in this album, he is reminiscing about the time he had with her, and the lyrics suggest it to be a romantic one, in my opinion. He treasures his memories and is still trying to grasp, but not in desperation though. He has moved from the past. And the last line, he knows that he should leave this thing behind, and he is still a bit hesitant about it. Now, okay, so this track is a bit confusing. Even if you listen to it, it's a bit difficult to understand, because I have been reading into the lyrics and it makes sense. This song is an instrumental, and we hear a bit of a segment of conversation, because that is the only lyrics in it, if you even count it as lyrics. It's a conversation in the middle of an instrumental between a girl and a guy, and the conversation is about how the girl doesn't want to hurt someone's feeling, most probably Liam. This conversation also gets cut off, so it's harder to make something of it. But it's most probably the girl he likes and her current partner having this conversation, and they're discussing about the Liam situation. Even they know about how he is and how destructive he has become at this point. The next track, I Never Felt This Way, and track 5, Heaven. Both of these songs are about Liam appreciating that he has met this girl and memories will be the best thing to ever happen to him, and he just lists out whatever he likes about it. For some reason, this album has a lot of recurring themes, especially from Liam's perspective. Like, he's reminiscing about her and the past he had with her. Kevin's interlude. This was a weird one to listen to because it says what it is, an interlude, most probably by the guy named Kevin. And well, it does have some commentary about how people's best trait don't always shine with the stars. Liam also talks about how a person has 2 personalities, and whichever shines first takes over you. I don't really get it, but please listen to this and please tell me your thoughts on it, because I'm really confused for this. For some reason, I don't get. The next track, Word, put JoJo reference right there. This is a kind of an uplifting instrumental with muted drums in the background. We can see this as Liam healing and moving on from the past, and like healing from the harm he has brought upon himself. I also think that he will never get into this unhealthy of an obsession with someone else, as he has learned from this mistake. The next track, I Feel Like Someone Could Love Me. This song mirrors the track of the first Take Care album, Agony. All I Need Is to Feel Like Someone Could Love Me. These songs are polar opposites at this point. Alive lyrically is a much happier album than Agony was. However, the song's melodies and deliveries seem sarcastic yet wishful. The album could be potentially what he sees of himself, and the girl in this song he admits he had a chance with and finally feels lovable. To be honest, this one I couldn't really understand, so I looked it up, and this is what I found on its Genius page. So I thank the Crowdman for helping me figure this one out. A lot of songs in the last album, still I don't get them. The next track, Starry-Eyed. This one is similar to track 4 and 5, how Liam is talking about how he admires and thanks the girl, how she helped him in such a tough time, rather than thinking about how his life was bad and depressing. Regrets. Okay, this track is like Kevin's interlude again, but I think it's just Liam talking this time rather than who Kevin was in that track. He tells us how he has healed and how he's moved on, how he would cherish these memories, and how the past is like a dream. I'm glad I'm alive. I think that this song should be the last song in the album, but it isn't, and I will talk about this right now, because Liam is happy to be alive, as the title suggests. And I've said this before, the first album, Agony, final track was Think of Me Once in a While, Take Care. Liam is running away, or probably going to kill himself. This mirrors it perfectly and fills and completes the circle. From such a self-destructive tone to something so uplifting and thinking of himself like, I'm glad I'm alive. He thinks, and this song is so beautiful to listen to. Just put this on, go in a dark room, it'll make you feel like you're in a trance. And it's probably the best thing by Liam, like the artist Liam McKay, that I have ever heard. And there's a reason I want this to be the last track, and I'll talk about it right now as I'm talking about the final track. Good Night, I Love You. Yes, this is the last track. I don't think of it as a literal last track, as an epilogue for the album. It isn't necessary. I know that he has healed and moved past the situations, and the last track was so perfect, but this track is like an epilogue. We see how he is now after being healed. And the track is just him singing Good Night, I Love You 28 to 29 times. We can see of Good Night being like him saying bye to her, like she's going to sleep and he will never see or think about her again. So it's kind of nice that way, but I think of it as an epilogue. And it is also like he is having closure at the end, finally. While making this video, I contributed a lot to the Genius page of these albums. So if you think I copied, no, I didn't. I provided that shit. Well, the 3 albums told us a loose story about Liam as the protagonist, or the protagonist, I don't know. I just said Liam because he's the artist. I still have no clue who can this be about. It's definitely a girl. It can be about how Liam recovered from his relationship, one bad breakup that he had once. And the last act, how he healed, I think is the most beautiful 3-album project that, well, is made. Currently, I haven't listened to a lot of music myself. I can totally see this being based off his real life experiences, but not sure of it. It's a combination of his rough patches in life, I believe, than one particular instance. And for some reason, if Liam, are you watching this, I would love to have a chat with you. And bye, and I hope you guys have a great time.
Stay in the zone, turn H2O to cognac on doomsday. Ever since the womb till I'm back with my brother went.